All right, in this video, I'm going to tell you why the Detroit Lions need to trade TJ Hockenson and don't turn it off just yet. Here's the thing. I think we are all coming around to agreeing that TJ Hockenson might make sense as a trade chip. The Detroit Lions, once again, have proven that they are not going to be a playoff contending team. And so, as every year, as the trade deadline approaches, we start talking, do the Detroit Lions have any pieces that would be good to trade? We're going to be doing a few of these videos talking about who would be good, but in this one, TJ Hockenson leads my list as the number one player I would like to see traded. And this is for a couple of reasons. It's not because I don't like TJ Hockenson. It's not because I don't think he is a good tight end. It is simple math for me. He doesn't cost us a lot of money. He doesn't cost the other team a lot of money. And he brings back the most in return when you look at trade pieces that the Detroit Lions could be getting rid of. So I'm going to be sharing a bunch of stuff with you. And if you stay here, I got an even little teaser where I'm going to pump up my buddy Chris when everybody said he was dumb a year ago. So hang around for that one. But the guys over at Pride of Detroit did a good job with this. They put together the numbers. His cap hit this year is just 6.5 million, with much of that is already accounted for in the first third of the season. Detroit would be left with about 2 million in dead cap this year and a little over 2 million in cap savings. So we would save 2 million next year and pay 2 this year, I believe is how that works. He does have a 5th-year option. I believe the Lions have already picked it up. It's 9.4 million and it is fully guaranteed. But if we trade him before March, it doesn't become fully guaranteed till March. So that $9.4 million salary goes with whatever team he is going to be playing with. So this is why I'm saying it's time to trade him now. Don't wait till the offseason when you have to eat that money. So when you trade TJ Hockenson right now, you not only do you get, and this is kind of cool, honestly, not only do you get 2 million back in the salary and the 2 million, so it's almost a wash, but you also free up 9.4, whatever I said it was, million next year. So what are we trading away if we trade away TJ Hockenson? Well, here's the dude's stats. Okay. Here's the guy's stats. And I think this is important for us to look at. This was a guy who was the number 8 pick. Number 8. We've taken other tight ends near top 10 status. All right. Pettigrew. I remember going. Pettigrew had a better career up to this point than Hockenson did. I mean, like, it's kind of nuts to think about, but I want to look at the yards per season. Through the first 3 years, he put up 367, 723, 583, and he's on pace to put up 700 to 800 this year, barring any unforeseen injuries. Does that seem like a guy we'd be happy with at the number 8 pick? Why does everybody still love this guy so much? And I don't think it's necessarily TJ Hockenson's fault. When you see him play an entire year, 16 games, he has 67 catches, 723 yards. But this year is very similar to the other years. He has 1 or 2 big games and then goes shockingly quiet. So why in the world would we want to keep paying this guy large amounts of money? He is worth more right now if we trade him because the team that's trading for him gets a year and a half out of him. Often you're trading players that are on expiring contracts and the other team would get a half a year. They get a year and a half, so that makes him more valuable. So the question has to be asked, could we get a first round pick for him? And I don't necessarily think so, but I don't think like a 2nd and a 5th or a 2nd and a 6th is out of the question. And I would take that like that for the Detroit Lions. We have proven that tight end is mainly blocking, but because they're mainly blocking, if they're not schemed against, they can still get receptions. Brock Wright had a very good game against the Cowboys. I understand it's one good game. He had a couple good games at the end of last year too. When Hockenson was hurt. Here's the thing. When teams game plan for TJ Hockenson, he doesn't do well. When teams don't game plan for TJ Hockenson, he does just fine. just like any other tight end. And so I think when you look at it, what we want in Detroit with this offensive line, how we've built it with the wide receiver core that we've put together with St. Brown and Reynolds and soon Williams and what was supposed to be Chark. When you look at that, this is not a team that is designed to throw the ball routinely to the tight end. It is designed to throw the ball to wide receivers and running backs. That's what this offense hits the best. So when you're looking at that, why in the world would you pay your tight end large amounts of money when he's a receive first tight end, a block second tight end? When your scheme says, I want to block first tight end and a receive second tight end. So the last thing I want to share with all of you before I end this video, because my partner in crime here over at Sports Talk Detroit would never do it because he is a very humble man. Chris is a humble guy. And because he's such a humble guy, I know he wouldn't do this, but I can be humble and still pump him up. 1 year ago today, I would like to share this with all of you. There he is. That's what Chris looked like a year ago. Very similar to now. As you can see, we did a video, and by we, I mean he did a video saying the Detroit Lions should trade TJ Hockenson. All of you, me included, ripped him a new one. I did it behind closed doors. I was like, dude, that's not good. Dude, that's not good. And the comments came in, and let's just say they were not good. You are out of your mind. No, they shouldn't. This is a stupid idea in every single way. He said this 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Fast forward to today, and you have articles coming out all over the place about how the Detroit Lions should trade TJ Hockenson. Can I ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen? Was TJ Hockenson worth more a year ago or today? He was worth more a year ago. And so I think when we look at things like this, I think we have to understand that as we look at this every single day, me and Chris, like because we're doing these videos every day, we are invested heavily in the team. Sometimes there's certain things where you can see the writing on the wall. And I'm not saying we're right about everything. Trust me, we are not. When a while back, we did our best takes and worst takes, and it was really bad. But he was spot on with that one. I was not. I was like, dude, you are absolutely nuts. Why would we trade TJ Hockenson? Because he said it when we had no wide receiver help in the first place. But he saw it. And here's the thing that I think we're trending toward with the Detroit Lions. We are trending toward a team that is going to have to be extremely talented. And we are also trending to either, how do I want to put it, offset Jared Goff's lack of, or a team that's very talented, and we want to win in that 5-year rookie quarterback window, because I think that this team is putting itself in position with 2 first-round draft picks, also a pretty bad losing record, to get a good quarterback in the draft next year. So we want to have a solid team around him where it's easy peasy, easy pickings for a rookie quarterback going into a second and third year. We don't want players that are on the heavy side of their contract. So getting rid of a guy like Hockenson, I would rather pay, which we already have, Decker. I would rather pay Sewell. I would rather keep paying Ragnow. I would rather pay Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's a lot of guys on this offense that I would rather pay ahead of TJ Hockenson. So let's trade him so that we can use that draft capital, shore up our defense, our offense, whatever you want to do. There's still a lot of holes. I think that's the best move. Lions should trade TJ Hockenson. Do you agree? If you don't agree, why don't you agree? You've seen the numbers. They're not there. They're not there. So don't give me how good of a receiving tight end he is, because the numbers for a receiving tight end aren't good. And I'm going to add this to this. If you're saying, well, it's because the Lions don't use him correctly. Exactly. Even more reason to trade him, because if we keep him, he's still on the Lions. We still won't use him correctly. So even if that's your argument, it can't be. But if you have something else, hit me with it. If you think we should trade him, what do you think we're going to get for him? Do you want picks? Do you want young talent? Like, what would you want for TJ Hockenson? That's about all I got for you on this one. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Peace.